It's all about reprogramming people and rewiring people. We're being rewired when it comes to families or relationships or, you know, business and how to work or how long to go to school or whatever. So you got to be rewired for everything.
It's an update, man. I think, you know, the world needs an update.
It's happening.
And it's happening, which is super dope. You know, one of the things about you, obviously, is going to be a constant theme for you is longevity. And it's extremely hard to have, you know, as an artist, and you're someone that has that. What are like the key things, you know, for the up and coming artists? Because, you know, we tapped into the underground and, you know, how do they build longevity like, you know, Wiz Khalifa and, you know, stars?
The way to build longevity to me is just like always be that leader or that example that you're looking for. So if you're inspired by somebody, like just take all of the best sides of that person and add it to yourself and just be that, you know what I'm saying? Or like be what you want to be, you know what I mean? And you're your biggest inspiration, you're your biggest leader. So if you're doing your best for yourself, then people will follow you and they'll ultimately turn into their best selves. But there's a lot of different ways to go about it, and there's a lot of fucked up people out there. I'm just not one of them. And you don't have to be a fucked up individual to be successful or to look happy or be happy.
Yo, it's your boy Hakeem, and you are watching Our Generation Music. And today, man, I have something so special for y'all. My man, Wiz Khalifa is here with us, man. What's up, my boy?
What's up, fam?
How are you, man?
Cool, just chilling.
This is very legendary. I really want to start this off with, you know, giving you your flowers, bro. Like, you are so important to hip hop. It's crazy, man. Like, you've been at this for like over 10 plus years now. Crazy run. But also, you know, the most funniest shit I just seen recently was that video of you with the shotgun.
Yeah, the cannon gun.
How high was my biz after that?
He was high for days. I don't think he quite recovered the whole trip. Yeah.
Did you see like any of the like the quote tweets on Twitter or anything like that? What people were saying about it?
Nah, see, that's the thing about me. Like, if I do something like that on social media, I literally just post it and put my phone down.
Just let it go crazy.
Yep.
Man,
that's Wizzlemania.
That shit was so crazy because as soon as I see it, I'm like, yo, bruh, this nigga about to be high for a fucking week. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
This shit, who made that? Was that like your invention or your idea or something?
Nah, man. Burner actually kind of engineered that. there were stages to that thing. I remember seeing the first like version of it was like a fucking leaf blower, and they had it at Lonnie and Breeze had it at the fucking at the High Rollers event in Vegas. But I'm pretty sure Burner had done something with it before that. I seen it at like a smokers festival that they had. But it didn't look like this one.
It was just like stuff getting added on and added on.
You know, they actually pieced it together and created this piece and this battery and this wire and this pipe pause or whatever. And, you know, this canister and this bowl. So they put it together and now there's the official form. And that was the real one. But you can only get it from the manufacturer, though.
Oh, okay.
At this point. But of course they're going to make more, you know.
That tore the fucking internet up, bro. Like, I saw that shit on Twitter. I was fucking dying. Some nigga said, yo, this is damn near attempted murder right here.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was death by weed.
If there ever was a time for that.
But yeah, it was funny as hell.
It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but that's the thing about stoners is like, they want that shit.
Oh God. until my biz is like fucking 3 days into it, it's like, all right, damn, bro.
Yeah. That's what happens if you fall asleep around me.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Multiverse, man.
Yeah.
The name, first of all, is where did this come from? And what the idea about it? Like,
yeah. It's kind of just something that I landed on, like being in my own world. And traveling through that world and wanting to bring people on a ride with me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, you know, you just dropped the video for it, you know, for Badass Bitches, right? And that's the vibe that it gave me. It's like, you're going to build out a world with this.
Yeah.
You know, what does that world kind of look like, if you can talk about it?
It's more based on giving people an alternative of their behavior and what they look up to and how they want to dress and how they want to treat people.
Okay.
I think a lot of things are really one-sided, and I have the opportunity to, bring people into a different way of thinking, especially me being a pioneer in the game and having so much time in the game. It's more about what I put out at this point.
Yeah.
And to really, add some class and some, accountability, still having fun, but, really kind of tapping into a different side of gentleman or gentle lady that hasn't been spoken to.
Yeah, I feel like it just gives this, like, even from the cover art and everything, like, I get this, like, cool, calm vibe, like, I'm popping player shit. Like, popping shit.
It's what I've been into anyway. A lot of my earlier influences are, funk and R&B and just love inspired. And, that's what it's all about. You see love on the cover, you're going to hear love throughout the album, whether it's for yourself or for the people around you. And, the message is just, it's really, really stuck on, elevating everybody's experience.
Yeah. And even the colors too, just like
thank you.
That red in there, like I just like, and, how it was shot and everything, like it just
that was
super
Edgar.
beautiful.
Yeah, that was Edgar's idea. Edgar, he really styled it specifically and was like very, very on point. Was like, yo, this is how we have to do it. This is how it has to come off. And the way that, people are responding and reacting to it is exactly what we expected from it. So it's really, really cool to see it working.
I feel like with this album, like, like you're very, it's very so detailed. Like a lot of things are super detailed, like every aspect of it. Like even just like, going on your story with the single, like you're reposting every DJ that's playing, the record. Like you're really pushing and really, making sure that, you guys see what this is.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a formula, not really like formula, but it's just when you involve everybody, they're more inclined to, support the record other than just having to. And that's what I mean about the alternative. There's a lot of algorithm driven stuff, but the real people out there still count. And that's who I've always been in touch with. And I'm always going to stay in touch with the real people, as well as being in touch with myself. Everything is aligned for me in a way where, I couldn't have timed it or planned it better. I'm in a great space mentally, physically, and musically as well. So it's only right that, every time I pop out, people get the best version of me.
Yeah, no, which is very important. I'm loving it. I came across a song and it was on my like reels and my Explorer page, and I heard the sample. That drew me in. I'm like, what this vocal chop? Like, what is this, a sample? And I'm sure that's what you thought when you first heard it.
Right.
Shout out Hitmaker. He makes fucking bangers all day. But like, I was like, and then I heard you rapping on it. I'm like, yo, this reminds me of like, like when I first time I heard you rap on "I'm Good" or something like that. Like just the bars was just so concise. It was just feel like so well thought out.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I mean, that's how I try to come at anything, whether I'm having fun or whether it's, conceptualized. I really try to put some type of thought into it, and, as well as just doing what the fuck I want to do. But being in studio with Hitmaker, he's so, like he knows what he wants to hear. So he'll be like, yo, do this flow right here, or speed that up there. And I write really, really fast. So it might take me like 15 minutes to do a verse. You know what I mean? Or sometimes I might like the verse, and then I'll go back and then I'll change like 4 bars. I'll change like the whole thing. And he'll be like, what the fuck did you do that for? And I'll be like, I just heard something different. You know what I mean? But it's really fun collaborating. And then, like I always say, seeing how people interpret it. And the fact that it comes off as fun and as, thoughtful to people as it was to us, that's really, really important. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, no. And you even said, right, 15 minutes. And, I remember like back in the day, I saw a video when you were doing Rolling Papers 1, you wrote the first Rolling Papers, you were in New York and you took your time, like, like you're, like I'd come up with a couple bars here, a couple bars, here, and then to really put that album together. And with this album, What was different, like creatively? Like, what did you do differently creatively?
I didn't feel like I did anything different. I think it was a big pot of everything that I've learned all the way up until this point. That's why I feel so good about it, because yeah, like you said, back then I was like, yo, I'm gonna do a verse here, I'm gonna do a verse there, I'm gonna do a hook here, do a hook there. But just going through that process, I learned what that feels like. So I don't have to do the exact same thing over and over, but I could take a piece of what I learned from that. And then just throughout the years of learning and experiencing, and then centering myself to do something that I've never done before, but to add all of these masterful styles that I've learned along the way, you just really get the best of the best. And for me, I won't say that I surprised myself, but I really impressed myself by being able to pull everything that I've learned all together in one project.
And that's amazing. That's a good feeling, because, you know, you've been at this for like, 10 plus years, and, to still being, like, oh, wow.
Hell yeah.
Like, that's something a lot of artists are, every day trying to, fight for, like that feeling, that, that feeling of like, I surprised myself, I done did something crazy again, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. No, I'll be riding around because we mixed it and mastered it, and we have to have it ready and shit like that. So I've experienced it on different levels, where it's headphones or in the Hellcat with the big speakers or in the Rolls Royce, and every time I experience it, I'm like, God damn. Like,
shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. There's songs that go off. I'm like, whoa. And yeah, so it's like you said, it's a really good feeling. It's a free feeling to not feel like I have to chase any trends or like I have to do anything crazy other than, top myself musically. It feels really good.
Yeah, because it's like now it's like the algorithm and TikTok and like this, like try to create a viral moment and this and I feel like, you've come from, you've seen music and you've worked in different spaces of it and seen different things go. But I think one thing that's always been common is just like, Wiz is gonna do Wiz.
Yeah, for sure. I found out like I'm a walking viral moment. So when I say go, I can go. When I flip the switch, it happens. And if I want to chill, I could chill.
Yeah.
Anybody who's a content creator or influencer will tell you how draining that shit can be. And I'm free from all of that. I have the advantage to the people around me. They know, they're like, when Wiz wants to go, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And he knows I edit my own, I think he's beeping, but I edit my own videos. I do all my own social media. I get teams of people together to create this content when it's time, because I'm letting them know, yo, we're on point right now. And if we ain't shooting shit, we ain't shooting shit.
Exactly.
But when we do, we going up and we gonna do numbers and we got a catchphrase and we got merch to go with it. So, I'm really tapped in the machine sense as well as the balance and, get it all together sense.
Yeah, and it even speaks from, your first hit, Black and Yellow. You knew that.
Fuck yeah.
You was 100% was standing on it.
Yeah.
This is what we rolling with, this is what we going with. And, there's been hits, after that and everything. Right. But also too, like, what's really super dope is I feel like with, being you have an advantage. You built a cult fan base.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, they're just throwing out something, like you focused on that. You use Twitter, you use different things to like really build an audience that is gonna be with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. The love that it was based on and the hard work, and I understand marketing, but I also understand, real life people and what they freaking want. And they don't want to get just sold anything. They want to really believe that shit. And I feel like the people who support me totally 100% believe in me, whether I'm, shooting a basketball or whatever it is. They like, yo, I believe in Wiz, like just because it's him. And that's a really, really great place to be. And that's something that just being myself and living my life and learning and growing and sharing those experiences with people, I've learned that's my way to stay tapped into them.
Yeah, and then we also have gotten to see you, day-to-day vlogs for me growing up. That's a part of my life. You know what I mean? Like going home every day, smoking weed for the first time, watching you smoke weed, live your life. Like, every single thing, you've been so open with your, your entire career. And I feel like the fans are really, and the people are really connected with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one main thing that I always pointed out, and then I was pointing out the other day, is it's based off of work. So I'm not showing you anything that I'm not hustling or working really, really hard to do. It looks fun, and because of my attitude and the way that I've, been blessed to look at life. And that's the inspirational part, is that you can also look at life and do these things this
do it
way.
too, yeah.
Absolutely.
Nigga, you could do it too.
Hell yeah, 100%.
Nah, yeah, it's crazy, man. I always wanted to know, like, is there any, like, even from early back, was there ever a thought to even not use some of that footage, like, from the day-to-day stuff?
No.
You put out everything.
Yeah, I was always putting out everything. My thing was like, I know what feels right. I know what's gonna hit. I know what people like. Cause I'm such a fan and I'm such a fucking troll, and you know what I mean? So I know, like, I know when shit's gonna go and when it's not. So when I'm designing it for myself, I'm thinking about it while I'm shooting it.
Yeah.
So I'm in my head. I know what the shit's gonna look like beforehand. I just need to chop it up and put it in place.
Yeah, man. It's crazy too, because you know, you really was one of the first guys to really use social media, like, and use it in a way to really propel your career, you know, to the heights. I also thought was super dope, you know, about you is that you've always done a good job of, you know, creating worlds, and even just like, you know, someone like Tyler, the Creator, you know, he has his clothes and he has this and that. You also had that. Yeah. You know, camel cargos and Chuck tees. Like, you've always been able to really give your fans a chance of being a part of something.
100%. And I'm always evolving and stuff like that. And early in my career, when I first signed, I was, you know, in a label meeting, and it might not have been the best thing to say, but it was real to me. And for me, it was the best thing to say. I'm like, y'all gotta get used to me changing every year. One year I might be fucking James Bond, and the next year I might be the Chief of Indians. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just have different inspirations and shit. I go through phases.
Yeah, there was purple hair Wiz, like Subi wearing Wiz. Like,
I go through fucking phases, and if you following me, then we just gonna go through it together. And it's just all a part of the big story. You know?
Yeah, like even when, you know, you spend your time in New York, Stussy, when you're rocking different things. Like,
yeah, hell yeah. I dive into things because I like to learn about it, and I'm not afraid to, you know, go. Most people, they wait until they feel like it's ready and then they show you, but I'm showing you along the way. Like, you're seeing everything.
I feel like that's just like, you know, more tailored to you. Like, it's authentic. Like, Wiz is just doing, like, you know, like, which is super dope. And there's not a lot of artists like that. And, you know, it's something that one of your strong points, I think. And even just merchandise, like, you murdered that. Like, Taylor Gang, like, you know, like.
It still sells really, really well. It's just beyond the point of what people see. It's like, it's a business, it's a corporation now.
I felt like you've always, from the beginning, like, it takes, you know, certain artists a long time to realize that they're a business. Yeah. I feel like from the beginning, you looked at it like that.
It was probably at the when we went to jail and I realized how much money we was making off merch. Oh. Because I didn't understand, because I was on stage every night. So I'm not seeing, you know, the homies at the merch booth killing it. And then I didn't realize that Will was doing deals with the promoters where we were taking a lower front end because they didn't think we were gonna sell that many tickets. So if we sold a certain amount over that, then we got the door, we got the bar. We were like killing motherfuckers, yo, because we were bringing such a big crowd and promoting it through the internet. And that's when I realized, like, oh yeah, we're way stronger than I was giving myself credit for. Yeah. Because when we went to jail, our bail was like, you know, $300,000 a piece.
Each?
Yeah.
How many of you guys were there?
It was 10 of us, so we had $3 million bail. Yep. And
what time period of Wiz was this? Like, what album was this?
This was before Rolling Papers came out. This was before I did Black and Yellow. I recorded Taylor Gang the night afterwards. I bailed us out of jail and we went to the next city and I recorded Taylor Gang on the bus.
That video was crazy too.
Yep.
That was a crazy video.
So that's when I realized that we were in business.
Man, that's an amazing memory, man. He's like, oh, hey.
I was like, it's big business out here.
It's like, everybody out. It wasn't one person. It wasn't like one person like, hey, you gotta stay.
I was like, check this out, brothers. The cops can't touch us.
Oh man. I also think, you know, one of the dopest things about you, and you've always kept it, the engineer and artist relationship. You know, like, I feel like the engineer is super underrated, and it doesn't, you know, not a lot of people champion them and show them love, but you do. You know, Edan and, you know, like, you talk to us, you know, a little bit about the importance of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know as much as I know about rap and music and just putting things together if it wasn't for Edan, Huggy, Diesel. There's a lot of people who, even Benji, like Chad, there's a lot of people who put in a lot of work with me early in the game who did things when it came to music but weren't, necessarily on stage or this, that, and the other. So I knew how important the team was. And then as time went on and I started to, create my own team, I realized what was most important to me was my producers and my engineers. Like, and my cameraman, fuck everything else. Sometimes cameraman was me, sometimes it was Will. But those are the closest things to me. And then it started to become like DJs and, managers and tour managers. But when you're building that team, you really, really have to look at who has your back and who you can't do shit without. I can't do shit without
I mean?
And so I let them know and I bring them along the way with me. And I've been through a lot of different engineers. Germ is still my man. Edan, of course. Drew, that's still my partner. And then Aaron, that's who I'm with now. But it's like a long-term thing. It lasts for 6 or 7 years until either they just want to move on and do other things, or sometimes they get tired of that shit. Like, my work schedule is crazy.
Yeah.
So
you're fucking superstars.
If a motherfucker be like, yo, I had enough of this shit, like, I'm good. Like, I let them move on and do whatever the hell they want to do. But like you said, that relationship is really, really important. And they do so much for me. Like, staying up fucking late, just knowing how to communicate, like, that language. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might mumble some shit and they know exactly what I want to do.
And then can turn that into some little shit.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like, hey, let's throw some reverb on it. Like, whatever it is.
That makes the creative process so much better when you don't have to, like, worry about technical shit, when you can just create. You know what I mean? And that's really, really been a blessing of me having great engineers to do that for me.
Definitely. And, I feel like it just watching the growth and you just hearing you be playing with your voice and singing, just seeing all that. And I'm like, man, like, you get it. Like, you respect and you're fully like, yo, the engineers are the guys, man.
Totally.
And, creative process wise, I know you record a lot. Like, Wiz, you're constantly working and constantly recording, but I want to know, like, what you do when you don't feel like making music. Like, you're uninspired. Like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. Like, I don't want to do this today. Like, how do you get back to that mentality? You know?
Shit, I'll watch some movies. I got my son, he's the man. So he keeps me hella occupied. And there's a lot of times, like you said, where I'll be like, I don't even feel like going to the studio.
Yeah.
It's not a forced thing. It's not even a frustrated thing. It's like, I would much rather just spend some time with him or kick it. Or if he's with his mom, I love playing pool. I love bowling. I love kicking it with the homies.
You got a big ass TV though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, my home life, I value my home life a whole lot, and just kind of being to myself and not being around people. And the older that I got, the more I understood myself and how important it is to take 3, 4, 5 days and just do nothing and not be around nobody. Working out is perfect for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I like that shit. And it doesn't bother me to be by myself with my own thoughts and get everything together. So when it is time to pop out and rage, I got all of this fucking energy. So yeah, that's more or less what I do, is kind of, I disappear. And I call it going Batman, where I just don't talk to nobody, yo.
Dark Knight mode.
Yeah, yep. Hell yeah, and you gotta respect it.
Like, yo, Wiz is in Dark Knight mode right now.
Dark Knight mode, and he'll pop out when he's ready.
Man, that's fire, man. Yeah. This project, how many songs are gonna be on this?
There's 17 songs on this project. I think it's 17, and then I got 3 more that's coming on the bonus.
Okay, bet. And obviously this multiverse is a world. It's a vision. Who are you bringing in, like, artist wise, feature wise, to help get this vision across the board? The
majority of it is musically. Hitmaker had a whole lot to do with it. Him and his team. There's Drew. There's a lot of different writers where I'm singing some hooks that I didn't write, which I'm really comfortable doing because, like, it's all about how you make it your own, and nobody's gonna know if it comes together how it's supposed to. So some words might get changed or whatever, but it's like the collaboration process is really important when you're making, like, full jams like that.
And you think of the legends like Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people. It's a collaborative thing. Music
it's called a production.
Yeah,
like it's like a movie. You need people to do everything on every side. So there's the Hitmaker records that are like that. Girl Talk, he's really important to the sound of this album. He's from Pittsburgh, a DJ and a producer. But he swooped in after we finished me, him, and Smoke DZA's joint album in Currency. I just loved how full and how different those sounded. And I was in like, I think I went to Catch, I went to Nobu, and I went to another restaurant. They were playing 3 different songs off that album. I'm like, okay, so this is Nobu music. This is Catch music. This is restaurant, elevated, upscale. You know what I mean? I was like, I need to add this to the pot.
Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah,
this vibe is people appreciate this and they want to see this. We got to add this.
We got to add this to the pot. There's that. There's my band director. His name is Kenny. And also different members of my band, CJ and Mike. We all came together to make like some crazy... Saxel Rose as well. We just came together to make some crazy ass original as just it's hard to like describe or what to call it, but that was such an important part of it too. I think we just made it more theatrical. Yeah. And like the DNA of it is gonna be so much more difficult to copy soon as I added them in there. And then there's my crazy ass ear where it's just like I take shit and scramble it, and some of the songs, a lot of the songs aren't traditional, like, you know, verse, hook, out. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on, and there's some 7-minute songs on there.
We're about to get into that.
Yeah, like, I always like to, you know, mix and mingle, but I really, really just went in on my own version of what I want music to sound like or what I feel like it should sound like.
Yeah, because you've seen it progress. You've seen so many different pockets and eras and just... you know, where it's even at now. But that's what I was going to bring up to you because, you know, I was listening to all your, went back and listened to some of your stuff. Like, we're in this era now where it's like 2-minute songs. Like, do you miss like having to do 3 verses and like 2 verses and a hook?
I think you have to have, in my opinion, this is what I was saying in the studio, is like, you have to have a reason to do that shit. And then people have to have a reason to listen. I give them way more benefit of the doubt that if they had a reason to listen, they would listen to all 3 verses. Yeah. And the way that music and human freaking interaction is, you feel that shit. So if it's not over, like in here, you gonna keep going. But a lot of these songs are only designed to get your attention for 15 seconds. That's why you can, you know what I mean, go through it real fast. Which isn't bad. It works for the companies, but this isn't for the companies. So you finna get a 6-minute song.
Sit your ass down, boy.
Yep.
Hear the movie right here, press play.
Yeah.
Nah, man, it's crazy because it's like really like that now. It's like, push the 2-minute and like take this verse off and chop it down this way. And it's like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I wouldn't be bad at 3 verses if it came back in style.
No, it's going to. It will. It just takes people pushing that. Yeah. And it has to be made popular, and that's what I was saying about.
And even bridges.
Yeah, a bridge.
Like you used to have crazy
bridges. Yeah, yep. That was like the structure of a song back then. Like, if you turned on the radio, it was hook, verse, hook, bridge, hook, and then out. You know what I mean? Like, that's how a song was structured.
And then, like, you know, outros would have like little, like, it was like a whole new vibe. Like, you know, it's transitions, but it was just like, there was so much creative ways to, you know, outro a song. Like, you don't really get that no more. You know?
The formulas always change. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. I just used every formula that I learned up until this point to, you know, create the sound of Multiverse.
Yeah, man, I'm very excited to hear this, man.
Thank you.
Even the cover too. Cover's super dope. I got it. I was like, okay, this is super cool. Like, who designed the cover and everything?
It was like I said, it's always a production. Like, it's a team effort, and it was more based off of me knowing what character I wanted to put out. And when we did the Badass Bitches video, that white suit, I was like, that shit is so player. Like, if I was going to be one character for this whole album, like, that would be the guy with the white suit, with the deep V-neck, with just the posture, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's just where I'm at in my life and how I'm feeling. You usually see a smile, but I'm a little bit more serious now. Like, there's a lot of different things that you can read through the imagery. And I wear the things that fit me. So if I pick something from a popular line, it's only going to be the stuff that fits me correctly.
Yeah.
And the way that I want my stuff to fit isn't necessarily how somebody else wants their stuff to fit. That's life, that's music, that's cars, that's family, that's weed, that's everything. So, you know, I don't mind being an individual and, like I said, trying new things or just being interested in the things that I'm interested in. And right now, I'm really on some classy shit. Yeah. I'm really on some, you know.
Some black, it's like the Black Dynamite. Like,
yeah.
Some hard shit like that.
Motherfucker said Kill Bill. I was like, well, how the fuck I look like I'm finna go kill Bill? But it's hard though, because the nigga had a samurai sword. Yeah. So, you know, I wouldn't mind carrying a little samurai sword to go with that.
You remember Snowfall when the bro was like, you should teach your mans how to squabble? Like his character, like, you know what I'm saying? Some suits, like
some real player shit.
Yeah, man. Like
it's really elevated and, you know, people don't mind that for me. And then even it's gonna translate to the shows, like when people come on tour this summer, get dressed, like dress up nice, you know what I mean? You don't gotta wear boots and a fucking suit jacket, but wear something that you're excited to wear and don't get that shit dirty and you know what I mean? Okay. Like have a good fucking time, like feel good about yourself. Like that's what it's all about. You want the Multiverse
night to feel like, yo, this is special. It's like prom, like you know what I mean? It's a special night for everyone.
It's an event. You might meet your wife that night.
Oh God, might blow down on some KK.
Oh, for sure. We throwing big doobies out in the crowd.
Man, that's fire. So you are going on tour, you know, you and Logic and, you know, a few more people. You've been going on, you know, tour for years, like, you know, you've traveled the world, you've seen everything. Like, you know, what are you looking forward, you know, most to seeing this time?
I always loved the creative process of the tour. Anybody who knows me personally, they know how hands-on I am with everything. So I'm there with the wardrobe, I'm there with the set design, I'm there with the set list. We're doing everything together. So it's just fun to, you know, see that side of it come out too. That's like working on an album or working on a video or something like that. You got all of these big ideas and all of these people who are great at what they do. And then we bring it together and then we just put on a show for everybody and we see how they respond and react. And, you know, the majority of the times, well, pretty much every time, they leave fucking inspired and wanting to do that shit them damn selves. You know what I mean? Like all of the years that I've been on the road and all the years that I'll continue to be on the road, I'm just gonna push it, you know, not only with the new music and the new experiences, but, you know, visually, like whatever technology with the lights or, you know what I'm saying, whatever new cryo we can use or whatever cool ass ways we could keep the crowd involved to the point where when they leave, they're like, yo, man, that shit was fucking crazy. Like that's the goal. So it's really exciting to build something for that. And that's what keeps me going and inspired.
Yeah, and it's dope too, because when I was at Smokers Fest, I seen you on the side for Carti's set. He got, I think, one of the best shows right now. It's crazy. You know, what was it like seeing him? Because I feel like he's taking performance, you know, to a whole new level. It's just the energy.
Yeah, the energy. Crazy. The energy is crazy, and he's tapped into, you know, what younger kids are feeling. Like when they come out, that's what they want to do. They want to fucking rage. They want to jump around. They want to scream. And he knows how to bring that out of people. And especially the set design, that's what I'm a nerd about. Like he's all the way up here on a fucking mountain and shit. Like, I'm like, that's hard. You know what I mean? So
what is this? What is the idea for the set for your tour?
I don't like to give it away.
Oh, y'all gonna see.
Yeah, y'all gonna see for sure.
Man, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm very excited to come see. You always, you know, do a good job, I say, of tapping in with the new guys. Like whether it was Trippy, Lil Skies, you even took him on tour years ago. I remember that was huge. And you know, are there any like new artists, you know, that you're really fucking with? Have you heard like the Yeats, the Ken Carsons?
Ken Carson's hard. I fuck with Ken Carson.
My guy.
Yeah, Ken Carson's hard. I actually met him at I think it was Lollapalooza in Chicago. And he was chilling with Carti, but I walked up to him. I was like, yo, you hard, fool.
Yeah.
I fuck with him. I like that sound. And I'm just, you know, I'm just here to always be the big homie. Like, that's my main thing is I don't critique none of them because they don't need that. They got fans and people who love them and all that shit. I'm not here to critique them. I'm here if they be like, yo, Wiz, like, this shit's fucked up or I'm going through some shit or let's do a verse, big homie, or whatever it is. Like, I'm here for the love, like all of that shit.
Yeah, I feel like you've always been like that, which is super dope, man.
Yeah,
that was a big. I know, Sky's going on that tour. Even the songs were trippy, just like everything. Like I feel like everyone could kind of like come to Wiz. Yeah. And you had Snoop like that too.
Yeah,
Snoop was a big homie. And you guys, for the longest it was Snoop. That was a guy like he's. You think of weed, you think Bob Marley, you think Snoop Dogg, and then Wiz Khalifa comes.
It's cool.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like, as long as people, to me, like...
Don't forget Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill. You had to. But it's crazy because, even being Jamaican, like, as long as people are smoking weed, they're going to always think about you.
That's crazy.
Did you ever think about that like that?
No, I don't think about it like that because that's like a crazy-ass responsibility, I think that I'm blessed to be in good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, man. I stopped smoking weed like in high school and stuff, and every once in a while I might. But like, have there ever been a day like what's the longest Wiz has ever went without smoking?
The longest I go without smoking is when I'm in Dubai, because you like literally can't smoke weed over there.
Oh.
So that'd be like 2 days.
But you still in a dab pen or something? Shh.
I don't smoke when I'm in Dubai.
We follow the rules over there, man. You've been working crazy. You put out the 2 projects this year, and now this is the 3rd. This is the album. Like, what is your goal with this project? Is there a goal? Or you just,
My goal for this project, I think, I feel like I already reached it by making it. Like, for real, yo. It's a really full, complete body of music or work of art that I'm proud of and that I would be proud to give to anybody who I cared about. And that's a good feeling for me, is like, I love my fans, I love my fan base, but there's gonna be people who I might meet them for the first time and I'll be like, yo, listen to my album. Because you're gonna learn a lot about me and you're gonna see me be creative. You're gonna see me show everything that I have to do right now. And that's just a really good feeling. And if people respond to it, crazy or whatever, at least they have this to add to, my legacy of these are Wiz projects, these are Wiz albums. I'm very happy to have this one to add to it.
It's amazing, man.
Hell yeah.
It was dope too, being a fan too, seeing the albums being uploaded on DSP. Mm-hmm. Like, man, you down there keeping the lights on at that piff because I was going back there. You know what I mean? It was dope, man, seeing that, man. What
you about to say?
Are you do you plan on, no, everything's up there. Everything's on streaming now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that was dope, man. I know it was hard from just going back constantly to that piff, like, damn, I can't listen to this and do that.
Yeah, they kind of cornered everything when it comes to that. But it's cool, like, things change, business changes, everybody got to, what works for them. Mm-hmm. So the old music, it got updated, but like, for me, I'm all about, moving, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. So when the older projects come out and people are like, oh my God, fucking Taylor Holiday, I'm so happy. I don't know what that feels like because I already
experienced
exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I hear you, but
so
it's
I'm happy for y'all.
Yeah, we sitting there on that piff, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we can't really text with this. Like, this is great. Now we can text.
Now we can text. You can put it in the whip.
You know what I mean?
I feel you. That makes sense.
I'm just gonna throw this out. I think the world wants the thrill on.
It is.
Oh, it is. Yes,
it is.
Yes,
it totally is.
Man.
Recently, and that song went up. There's people who play that shit like it's my new song. I'd be like, all right.
TikTok, man.
I'm like, cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy. TikTok, man. It's like, it's such old records are now being discovered by these kids, and then they're
going crazy.
Now I'm turning into a person like, y'all just heard this?
Mm-hmm. Nah, for real.
But they turning back up old catalog. They turning back all that up, man. Do you use TikTok or anything like that?
My son kind of goes on there because he watches anime, so I hear what he's doing or watch his edits that he does on there. But not me personally, man. I feel like that would be too time consuming. And it's not for my age or demographic or things that I'm trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was trying to influence motherfuckers and be a trendy ass nigga, I'll be on there.
I feel that. Yeah, no, I just started getting on it. Actually, posting my first ever TikTok today.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is a big Wiz interview. I did a little get ready with me, showed my fit.
Oh, cool.
I'm about to go pop shit with Wiz, man.
That's awesome. Well, you got to take a KK joint and you got to, oh yeah, but you can't have weed on TikTok though.
You can't?
No. I don't, yeah, nah.
I don't think so.
Nah, no.
TikTok, man, get it.
I don't want to ruin your whole video.
You saw that they legalized, I'm sure people are always talking about weed legalization and all that stuff. Like, but in New York, the cops can smoke now.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, they don't test you for that shit when you're on probation or none of that. Bruh. So you could get out of jail, smoke weed, and go piss and be totally fine, not go back to jail.
It's amazing.
That's
man.
awesome.
That's
I love
awesome,
that.
bro. Because I remember too, like there was a time when people were going on probation and they were smoking fake weed, like
K2, that shit was fucking niggas up.
It fucked me up at one point too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it fucked a lot of people up.
And it just gave people a dumbass reason to send people back to jail when they wasn't really doing nothing. It's like, if you got in trouble for something before and you got out, it's like, all right, cool, but just because you smoked weed, now you're going back to jail, and then you don't even know when you're getting out. I seen niggas sit in jail for like 9 months before they even seen the judge, like just because they piss dirty.
Man, need some.
They be down in the county for 9 months just because they piss dirty. I'm like, damn, that's fucked up.
Man, we need some weed reparations, man.
They doing it, they working on it.
Yeah.
But the new shit is the shrooms though, too.
You just partnered up, you got your company coming. What,
MisterCaps.
MisterCaps, what do you plan on, because, shrooms was, obviously you want to make shrooms for everybody. Man. But, in the black community, people didn't really use shrooms like that.
Yeah, no, they looked at it really bad, and that's because your mind is programmed to that. So whatever people tell you when you're a kid, that's kind of what you go off of and take what you throughout your adulthood. And, the more research that they've done with it and the more they found out how just a little microdose of it, like certain psychedelics, they help a lot with issues that people deal with daily, whether it's like mental issues or social issues or whatever it is. So I'm just happy that
you're gonna have the whole hood shrooming.
Yo, they already are. You go to parties, like there's hella people doing shroom chocolates and teas,
the chocolates, the
gummies,
teas,
and they have shrooms that don't have the actual shit in there that makes you fucking trip out, and that's what a lot of people are doing just to calm down or just to sleep or just like as an antidepressant.
I'm glad that we're at this point where we can look at things the right way. You know what I mean? Like not.
It's all about reprogramming people and rewiring people. We're being rewired when it comes to families or relationships or, business and how to work or how long to go to school or whatever. So you got to be rewired for everything.
It's update, man. I think, the world needs an update.
It's happening.
And it's happening, which is super dope. One of the things about you, obviously, is going to be a constant theme for you is longevity. Mm-hmm. And it's extremely hard to have, as an artist. And you're someone that has that. What are like the key things, for the up and coming artists? Because, we tapped into the underground and, how do they build longevity like, Wiz Khalifa and, stars?
The way to build longevity to me is just like always be that leader or that example that you're looking for. So if you're inspired by somebody, like just take all of the best sides of that person and add it to yourself and just be that, you know what I'm saying? Or like be what you want to be, you know what I mean? And you're your biggest inspiration, you're your biggest leader. So if you're doing your best for yourself, then people will follow you and they'll ultimately turn into their best selves. But there's a lot of different ways to go about it, and there's a lot of fucked up people out there. I'm just not one of them. And you don't have to be a fucked up individual to be successful or to look happy or be happy. So
100%.
Yeah, be a good person and work hard.
Yeah, working hard. Wiz is every single day, every morning. You training, man.
Yeah, I'm up at 6 o'clock, you know what I mean? Fucking lighting incense, walking dogs and making tea and then working out. And of course I got my son. He keeps me really, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my favorite job is
being a dad.
Yeah,
no, because Ricky's my man's. Ricky P's my man. Shout out my homie Ricky. Yeah. And I remember when he made that transition too to start working out. And I seen Ricky come back to the studio.
Super yoked.
I was like, damn, nigga.
Yeah, we've been going for like 5 years now. I looked up the other day and they were like, hit the bell at the gym. I'm like, what the fuck is that for? They was like, you've been here for 5 years, bro. I'm like, damn, that's really cool to be doing something consistent 5 days a week for 5 years.
Has there, I'm sure people always, ask this. You're known as someone like, yo, Wiz really do fight. Like, Wiz really duck a nigga head off.
Yeah, for sure.
And you ever think like one day you could probably get in the ring or anything like that?
Yeah, I could get in the ring fucking tomorrow. Like, I'm ready to go. That's just not the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, being in shape is the goal. Learning new shit's the goal.
Yeah.
Making other people's lives better is the goal. If I gotta knock somebody out to make their life better, I'll do it.
Real one. You gotta slap your homie up every once in a while. Shut up, man. Oh man. Yeah, we usually do this to close it out and everything. What's your message for our generation?
My message for our generation is be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Be nice. Be nice. Wiz, man, thank you so much.
Thank you
This was
too,
amazing,
bro.
bro.
Appreciate it, fam.
This was amazing.
Hell yeah, it's fun.